All right, here we are. Let's do a brief audio and visual check. As we're doing that in the YouTube chat, there is our Topstep risk disclosure. Everything we go over and talk about and what you see here on air is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. It is not signals class. You know it is. There it is, Bruno, in the chat. You can see with me, my man, Coach Jay, to my left, your right.
Let's go.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Man Cave trades S1's Mexico. My flight is in about 12 hours. I still haven't packed yet. So, but we got some work to do. Markets are moving. So I'll start packing after this. But I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Fair enough. Doing good. And if you need to leave early, just hit me up, shout it out. And it depends on these markets, right? If these markets are slow, we can get some Q&A. And if you need to dip early to pack and prepare for that trip, go ahead and do it. But yeah, let's get to these markets. We do have, it's already Wednesday night. Thursday's price action. So time goes by so fast. I mean, you can see it right here. We got initial jobless claims tomorrow morning. We have Fed Bostic speaks. We got the biggest tech stock, Walmart. That's so funny. It still gets me that Walmart is in the NASDAQ.
Walmart.
Yeah. And so that's going to bring some volatility tomorrow, I think. The initial jobless claims and, of course, Fed speakers. We got 3 of them tomorrow, 4 of them tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going to finish it off this week with inflation data. We got PMI. We got PCE. Sorry, PCE. We got UK PMI is what I was looking at. We got US PCE. So, and of course, another Fed speaker, the University of Michigan sentiment, more Fed speakers. So, shortened week, but there's a lot packed into this week. So let's take a look. I'm going to do a top-down analysis, and then, we'll turn on the music, get to some questions. Let me know if you're seeing anything, Coach Jay. I'm going to start with the NASDAQ here. Let's take a brief look at the NASDAQ from a zoomed-out perspective. And, here we are. I mean, we get one new candlestick a day when you're looking at the daily, right? So we had that sell-off on the 12th, and we consolidated around this 24,800. Today we had a nice bullish candle. So far this has been a bottom, kind of a pivot right back around 25,000. We got 134, came back, pulled. So nothing too crazy to highlight on the daily. Just staying on this lower end of this consolidation since the end of October. We start to zoom into an hourly chart, and let's see if we can see any patterns here. We have that pivot high. I do want to point out that this is kind of, I'm always slow at catching these things sometimes until after the fact, right? We've had this downtrend that we've been in for pretty much the entire month. We did come up when we tagged it. I should have pointed this out. I should have seen it, but here we are again after the fact. Hindsight's 2020. We came up, we tagged it. We didn't really break out, and we pulled back pretty strong against that on the hourly. And I'm looking to the left, and you can see there was a little bit of resistance there at these 130s. It's a zone. It's a decent zone, and the power of hindsight saying, okay, that makes sense. We came up, tested it, and then we got that sell-off. Doesn't surprise me at all looking at this. Now zooming in, the first thing I'm seeing is this a head shoulder pattern, and maybe we're gonna see another leg lower? Are we gonna come back up, retest this trend line, maybe have a possibility of a breakout? We're kind of in the middle. We are resting around this level of support and resistance that we made on the 13th, which was Friday, and since then it's been pretty strong, been pretty bullish this week, right? Just higher lows, and we tested 25,000, big round number. 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, looking at tonight's price action. It's a little mixed. You can see where we opened up tonight's price action with a little bit of a gap up and rally. I mean, we're getting a little bit of a sell-off right now, and it's been just mixed. We can't get over this 25,000 level, which we're staying below, and very neutral. We're getting a sell-off right now as we speak. Just give me a
We are
sell.
seeing some selling here.
Yeah, we got your charts up. Are you seeing anything? Oh, I thought I had him. I thought I had him. Let's get him on there. Are you seeing anything in the NASDAQ?
Uh, in the NASDAQ,
Oh,
let's
I'm
see. We
struggling
got,
here, man. One second.
I just turned
I
into a
got your
chart.
charts as you. I got you as your charts. Let me switch this all around. We're
There
doing
we go.
musical chairs. Yeah.
There we go. I'm in a long micro gold. I'm still trading in a combine right now, waiting for message of the risk team, and we should be in a live account by Monday. So when I get back from Mexico, we'll be in that live account. So right now I'm in a combine, just long micro gold, but in the NASDAQ, let's take a look. So you were talking NASDAQ here.
Yeah. Then we'll
Let's
get to
see.
gold.
I'm seeing range. Seeing a range. Let's take a look at the first 30 minutes. We are, here's the range for the first 30 minutes, 24,945-ish at the lows, right below 25,000 at the high. VWAP's a flat line right now. So I would be looking at any extensions outside of this for opportunities to maybe fade the extremes, buy back into the range.
Okay.
I am somewhat bearish. That short we were talking about, Dakota, on fast markets, I actually ended up taking it in the S&P later in the day. We were talking about it, right? It felt like a time of day trade where it wasn't going to go until later in the day. That's exactly what we got. To me, the sentiment in the market is still pretty heavy. So, you know, no volume above 25,000. I'd be looking for another test of this 200 moving average on the 30, down at 24,815s. Right now, do I see a trade? I don't see anything specifically right now to say jump into a trade, but I'm still kind of looking to the downside here.
I would lean. I agree with you. Obviously, I'm a perma at heart, but we had that good discussion with Jack in fast markets. You know, day trading versus what the fundamentals.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm looking at the major tech stocks here now that we're talking about the NASDAQ, and it's just quiet. Apple's down just a little bit, but we have the jobs report tomorrow, so that could bring the market, move the market in any direction. Obviously, we have that headlines, geopolitical risk. Is there going to be a strike over the weekend? We know that a lot of the tension can come out and the headlines could start popping off over the weekend, right? So be curious to see how that plays. It is Thursday, and I think I've seen a headline, something about Iraq. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. But that's all I have on the NASDAQ. Let me switch over to gold. You said you had to trade on gold, but I'm going to do a quick top-down analysis on gold as well. We did tag that 25,000 level. If you guys were joining me for slow markets last night, that was my target. And sure enough, that was a pivot. And so I'm very happy to see that play out. Sometimes it just works like that, and you have a good call out, but you don't trade it the best. That's the hard thing, right? We came down, that held so nice, and Coach Hoop and I was having some messages back and forth. It was like, wow, this thing just kept going. Beautiful bottoming pattern at these 48.80 zone.
Share your screen, Dakota.
Oh, there you go. So there it is. There's the beautiful bottoming pattern here at this 48.80 zone. Rally, pulled back, found support, right? Technicals are a beautiful thing. There's the support level. We had that rally. We had a pullback to a previous level of support, and we just took off. We tagged that 5,000, overshot it. We're getting a little bit of a pullback now, but the question I'm seeing is, are we going to get that continuation, maybe back up, retest these 5100s? We're getting a little bit of a sell-off, but yeah, I want to lean into a lot of this buying coming in gold, in these metals. Higher low, question mark. Do we get another leg higher? I'm going to look at that. That's which way I'm going to play this market, towards the long side, I believe. You said you had a trade on, so I'm going to switch it back to your charts.
Yeah, I'm long 2 micros right now. And this is just a combine waiting for that live account to be assigned. But long 2 micros here. Why I like this trade, this actually looks very similar to the equities this morning. We're trading above the 200 moving average on the 30-minute, which is this white line on my chart. We have volume trading above it as well. So far, it's kind of range bound, but this would honestly be a trade that I'd be comfortable doing this here, right? Risk goes to making a new low of day and then just letting this one play out, because we are seeing price and volume trade above that 200 moving average. I'm going to switch over to the NASDAQ really quick. Go ahead, Dakota.
Okay. No, I'm just saying I'm in the long gold as well right now. I just got triggered in, looking for a breakout towards 5,000. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, it looks very similar to where the NASDAQ was this morning, where we were talking about that 200 moving average during fast markets. You know, look at this chart like this, and that's kind of what gold looks like right now. We saw what the NASDAQ did. So, you know, it's worth putting the risk on here. I would take this trade pretty much anytime I see it set up. We'll see what happens from here, right? Could we get a push? Could we fail? But I think making a new low a day is what I'd be comfortable risking here. About $400 with 2 micros, and then we'll see what happens. 50.25 is an interesting area to look for a potential target.
Okay. I like it. I like it. And there's my gold long. You can see up here on the top left-hand side, of course, my live account. And this is a trade that I am actually really liking it. Kind of breaking through this previous pivot on the 5-minute chart right here. And we're holding. So very similar to what I was seeing and what we were seeing, you know, down here, obviously on a smaller scale. We had that big sell-off and a wick, and then consolidation and rally up. And kind of seen that same thing. It's a very similar pattern, right? Big sell-off and a wick, push down, consolidate, you know, near the low of the wick. And so let's see if we get that rally back up. That is oddly similar, right? Just visualize this, right? Copy paste, obviously, you know, big sell-off. There's that wick. We had 1, 2, 3 tests near the low of the wick. And we're seeing that again tonight, right? A big sell-off and a wick. We got 1, 2, 3 tests near the low of it. And now we're, is it going to play out like that? Pattern recognition? I'm not sure. And, I mean, here we go. Here we go. We got the top of the hour in 15 minutes, but I'm long from, you know, 987.7, and we are seeing some buyers starting to step in. First resistance level is going to be these 90s, but I could see 5,000 being tested. Seeing 5,000, and this was tonight, right? We gapped down. This was all that price action to start tonight's session. Like, wow, that is quite the move. 70 all the way back up to 5,000. So volatility is still in these metals. I like this long. Obviously. Love it
when it's going the right way, right?
Yeah, we like it when it's going the right way.
Long, it's going up. Let's do this.
Let's
Ricky
keep it going.
In the chat says, "How do you trade MGC? It's really pegged to GC, and GC is telling a different story." Make sure you're on the right charts, because the GC chart and the MGC chart look almost identical. You know, if you're using moving averages and things like that, there'll be a little bit of a skew, but it's almost the exact same chart.
Yeah, it should be the same. The only difference I could see is maybe if you're using a tick chart, the volume's different in micros than minis, but the price should be the same, right? There's little tiny fluctuations because it's technically a different contract. But yeah, just double check everything. I'm going to get the music on. We'll get to some questions. I know the chat loves the questions. And then, of course, as we go through this in the YouTube chat, there is my Twitter and, of course, the Insta. Go ahead and tag me, #SlowMarkets. Make sure you tag me on the Twitter so that I see it and I can get ready for some #SlowMarkets. If you're new here, you tag me. I like it. Make sure it's about trading and relevant to trading. You know, set up your trader station. I'll show it live here on air. And let's get to I don't know, just for the heck of it, 700 likes. 700 likes. Cassiolo says, "What happened to my eye?" Well, if you followed those socials, you know exactly what happened. I got punched in the face by this NASDAQ here. Bro, do I wear headgear? I do. Sometimes headgear does not prevent black eyes. Sadly. It helps, but not when you go 100% with a heavyweight. Oh, let me know if you could hear the music. Cue the music.
I can't hear it, but oh, there it goes. Yep, I can hear it now.
We got it. Okay, sweet. Happened when he was in Vegas. I have not been in Vegas for a little bit. Can you break down the ES for this week? I don't trade the ES. Once we get a minute, I know maybe Jay can review the ES. You look at it, right, Jay? Okay.
I traded it today.
You traded today? There you go. There you go. Shouldn't be fighting this. Hey, am I concerned about head trauma? Obviously, that's a concern, right? That's why I wear full headgear, and a lot of my sessions are just light work, light sparring. Does it feel weird, us internet friends, talk to you guys in a way that we're overly familiar with you guys? Nah. Oh, we had that conversation in the meetup, right, Coach Jay, where it's like,
Yep.
hey, we're gonna meet all these traders that we've never seen or we know nothing about, just internet handle, right?
Know a lot about us, right? You know what was the word? We there's a word for that. It's a parasocial relationship, right? Where we don't really know each other, but it feels like we do because we spend so much time with each other that we do. I think the cool thing about it is we all have a common interest, right? So you can always relate on that point.
Yep.
And then you figure out more about a person the more you spend time with them.
Yeah, exactly. I recognize, traders in the chat. Your YouTube handle very frequently. Show up every night, right? Man Caves, Richard, of course, Aventura. I could sit here and name half the chat. And so yeah, it's interesting. And then putting a face to the name. A lot of the people we actually met don't really comment. Never did really comment, right? So that was pretty cool to experience.
Michelle says we don't spend time with you guys. You spend time with us. No, we definitely do. I'm telling you right now, there are times where I'll recognize that I haven't seen somebody's name in the chat for a while, and I'm like, damn, I wish I could just reach out, make sure everything is good. So we recognize it, even if we don't call it out all the time. We recognize you guys being here. So yeah.
And even in on socials, right?
Yep.
For me, it's like on Twitter or Instagram. Hey, I made this post, and usually this person's having a comment and some back and forth. It's like, where's this person been? Where have you been, man? I missed you. All right, gold testing these 90s. Almost missed this episode of Slow Markets. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss it. Glad you didn't miss it. You don't want to miss episodes of Slow Markets. YouTube was having a little bit of a hiccup last night, but we're good now. We can get to those 700s. That 700 like goal. I don't comment enough, but one time Dakota wasn't answering my question, and I told him, let's box it. Hey, we could box it out.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man Cave says, I'm spending more time on TopstepTV than with the friends and family, especially here in the boat. Make sure you get a combination of both in there, right? We're cool being your friends and family, but spend some time off the charts as well.
Mesh.
I got to make sure I do that too.
Oh, yeah. Both. Good, healthy mix of both. What's the story about you in Vegas and stealing 4 girls? Hey, I talked about that yesterday. I explained it. Don't need to go into detail.
What happened to what happens in Vegas?
What happened to what happens in Vegas? It was good times. I spent a night of dinner with Tom Dwan. He's a famous poker player, and he had some friends, and I'm a guy. There's attractive girls. One thing leads to another, right? Get a number. 49.91s. We're continuing to hold here.
Where's the puppy? So I had some friends, some good friends, decide they were going to watch him. I was trying to either decide whether I was going to take him to a kennel, have my parents watch him, or I had some friends say they were going to watch him. He's chilling right now. Got spoiled with a bunch of new toys. And, I think he forgot about me.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice push here in gold.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this eye was a punch from Mike Tyson. They made a documentary about Vegas. Yeah. Look at this rally. Okay, I can see 5. Oh wow, we're getting okay. Let's tighten up some risk. Let's tighten up the risk now. Want to just below this pivot here, up 50 ticks. Okay, what happened? How many did you teach jiu-jitsu to, Dakota? Just say the number 1 and 4. Boxing. Where does this jiu-jitsu come from? I'm up $18. Hey, it's not about the dollar amount. It's about the process, right? That's why I have ticks right here. I like to view this in ticks, following the process, looking for that. So if I get to 5,000, I don't know how much money I'm going to make, right? I don't know how much money I'd lose if it hits my stop loss. It's about the process. It's just 1 micro, so it's going to be within my risk parameters. For me, it's about just the same process over again, over and over and over again, explaining it, showing it, helping other traders. That's the point of what I'm doing here. I've had my time to demonstrate, that hold my beer moment the past 2 years. I proved it, right? Do I watch a lot of boxing? Oh yeah, definitely. I love it. It's an art. Hey, where do you toggle the ticks and the price? Right here. You go to the settings on the left-hand side. You go ahead and do charts and data. You can change it. Dollars, ticks, percentage, points. When I'm trading gold, I do ticks. When I'm trading the NASDAQ, I do points. Easier for me. And look at this gold. We're continuing to push. Let's get it. Yeah, up top it shows the P&L. Sometimes I'll have 2 trades going, so I try not to look at that.
How did I end up with the ES trade today? Pretty good. I got short from 69.12. I think I took 18 points out of that trade.
Okay. Nice.
So turned out to be a decent trade.
There you go.
Top of the hour coming up. Thanks, Hazy Shooter.
Yep. In about 5 minutes. Yep. A little less than
volatility
6.
here.
Yeah, I've seen the spike in volatility around these 90s. 5,000 is looking really, really attractive. Big round number. We're on our way. It's taking its time. I'd like to see it before we get to the top of the hour. It is, remember, Chinese New Year? So expect a little bit less volume than we typically do in slow markets because of that. Talked about it last night. I believe it will be finished on the 23rd. Correct me if I'm wrong.
23rd sounds correct.
Okay. NASDAQ getting a bid, says real estate guy. Nightbot, making sure everyone spells Topstep correctly.
We had a question that I wanted to get to. Cryptic fiery trading. I think we can answer this before the top of the hour. If you manage to trade at all, Dakota, let me know. But this seen a nice little pop here.
Yeah, it keeps
Cryptic
bouncing.
fiery trading had a question. How do you maintain trading discipline while taking a set of losses? You make sure those losses are managed. If you're taking unmeasured losses, and unmeasured losses are never small losses, they're always big ones. So
Yeah.
if you measure your losses first, it makes it a lot easier to actually take those trades and just accept that there's a percentage of the time that you're going to be wrong. So you have to do that first, and then over time you understand that there is no 100% trading strategy, and you're okay with the times that you're going to be wrong. How do you maintain that discipline? You remind yourself that over an extended period of time, if you consistently do the same thing, that's how you get paid in trading.
Yep.
It is hard, right? Saying it is easier than doing it, for sure. But it's truly trusting your system. That's what I would say. Anything you want to add to that, Dakota?
No, it's hard to do. Now, since the Vegas is now on my mind, there's a lot of similarities, right? We're talking about probabilities. We're talking about money. We're talking about over a long period of time. When you win a jackpot in Vegas, do you think the casino really cares? No, right? Because the casino knows over a long period of time who the odds favor. Vegas was built on losers, right? People losing their money to the casino. Casino's not going to care if somebody comes in and, takes a big win, which on the flip side, that's a loss for the casino, right? And casino's like, yeah, congratulations, great work, move on to the next. The more that repetition happens, the odds are that it's going to continue to go into my favor. And so you kind of have to have that same mindset, right? To be the casino, like know that you trust your process, and the more data, the more sample size you have, the more it leans towards your favor. And of course, you're going to have to adjust it.
Two minutes here, top of the hour.
Okay.
You moved your stop up?
Yeah, I have my stop at 84.3. It's a small size, so I'm leaving this market, giving this market more room to breathe, right? We got the top of the hour in less than 2 minutes, so I'm looking for that push up to 5,000. That's a good way to put it.
Crude oil, man. Crude oil. Very interesting market in crude.
Well, crude oil goes up during times of war or geopolitical risk, and just thinking of it. Now, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Remember, this is the risk disclosure in the YouTube chat. This is purely my opinion. Wasn't it like last month when the U.S. started moving its Navy from the Gulf of Mexico or America, that area, towards Iraq?
Is that right?
I don't know. It seems like it was a month, and it takes about a month for a boat to get from there to there. I don't know. And this weekend's coming up.
This weekend is coming up.
Crude's reacting too, going into the weekend, so.
Mayor Charles, how did my psychology change once I crossed 100K on this XFA? More risk? No, actually the opposite. Once I hit the 100K mark, right, there's a limit to the amount the team is going to bring over to the XFA, to the live account. So my mindset switched to just stay consistent, right? Stack winning days. And I think I had a streak of 12 winning days. Not all just $150 days. The last couple were, but it was just show up to the markets with the same mindset, same process, but I'm not looking for, home run trades at all. I'm looking for base hits because it didn't really make a difference to add to the balance of that account at that point. Top of the hour just came in here.
Okay.
Not really seeing too much.
Yeah, it's Chinese New Year, so I'm not expecting too much.
Right.
But, top of the hour, bottom of the hour can still bring a little bit. Not expecting too much. Remember, I'm looking at some of these hashtag slow markets. Once again, make sure they are appropriate and trading related. Appropriate and trading related while I do the hashtag slow markets. I know a lot of traders wait till closer to the end of class because they're trading right now. So they want the trade to play out first and then they post it. But you can post anything trading related. All right. I'm getting a whole lot of nothing right now. We'll just let this one cook. Let it cook. Let's take a look around here. NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ catching a nice bid. So there's 40 points off those lows there on the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin. 66,800. Spot is at 66,700. Yeah, basically a couple of $100 less than that. And Bitcoin is just struggling. Bitcoin is struggling. I like the NASDAQ though. NASDAQ looks like it come back up and test 25,000. Maybe a breakout to the long side. I'm right there with you. All right. Gold pulled back down to these 49.90. See if we can get back up there. Oh,
there we go.
There's some volume. There is.
Looking for 5,000s here?
Yeah, I'm looking for 5,000s. All right. Okay, it was like 2 minutes delayed, it seems like. But we're getting it. All right, you're going to tighten up that risk now a little bit more. If we get a breakout, I don't want to risk. Lock in some green. I'm going to have it just below that pivot that we just made right there. Just that little spike in volatility. If we get back down below that, I don't want to be in this. Risk-free. Green on the screen no matter what.
Michelle, I do have a take profit for my trade. It's up at 50.25. I would definitely trail before we got there. We'll see what happens at 5,000s. I may take one off. There's a question, if you have two contracts, how do you trail one? You can put a limit order, right? I can put a stop order for one contract on the chart, or I can put a stop sell for one and then just trail it up as we go. It'll tag me out of that one and, change everything else to just the one lot.
There you go. That flexibility of micros cannot be overstated.
Nope.
Okay, come on. We got to get to 5,000 first. Then we can make a decision. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and... I'm going to go for 49.99.9. 49.99.9. I usually don't have a take profit. But we'll go there. We'll see if we get 49.99.9. Rip sent a hug to Dakota. I texted him. I texted him the other day. I told him I need to get back out there in Vegas. Imagine silver. Coach Hoop, love micros. Oh yeah. All right, come on, gold. We're getting there. Honestly, I just don't like take profits. I'm gonna take it off. I'll put it on there if we do get a burst of momentum. It's just too many times I've been in a trade and I have to take profit and it just blows through it, and the next thing we know we're at like 5,010. I'm more of an ask slapper.
That's what happened this morning. That's what happened this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they know it. They know it. All right, come on. Let's get through these 96s. Seeing some hashtag slow markets already coming in. Okay, nice, nice. I like it. We even got a hashtag slow market entry from Bruno.
Yeah.
I think that just nailed your take profit, Bruno.
Nice trade, Bruno.
Yep, a moderator. Great moderator. Great trader, too. Why not? Why not? You sit here, you're enjoying this.
Yep.
Man.
Come on, gold. Come on, gold. There's nothing up here. Just trade through it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, on a normal day in gold, before all this volatility came, 80 ticks is pretty good.
It is.
80 ticks is really good. Like last year at this time, 80 ticks in gold, instead of a base hit, that's a double.
Let's see. Is there any management that I would do of this trade? I'm going to get out of one below 93s, 92.60. I'll get out of one.
Okay, I see that. I see that. I'll see it. It'd be, I don't want to say surprising, but 5,000 is such a big round number and we're so close.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense to me that we wouldn't
not trade it.
to not trade it tonight, right? Now,
Yeah.
the markets will always prove me wrong, like, but we did trade it. Honestly, we did when we first started the session. So technically we've traded 5,000 on this rally and breakout to long side. It just makes sense. Like that's all I'm saying is logically 5,000. What the market wants to do could be a completely other thing. Nick Dobie, chill vibes. Dobie in the chat.
Dobie time in the chat.
Dobie time. Got to get him on here one of these nights again for the second.
Stalling out a little bit here.
Let's go.
What else is moving? What else are you guys seeing in the chat? Who's trading in the chat right now? What are you in? Richard Harris? I know you are. You've been short, long. Richard Harris is always scalping it up in the S&P.
Okay. Okay. You know what's not moving? That like button.
Yeah, where are we at?
Come on. We're at like 200.
You guys don't like winning trades?
Yeah, each and every night I come on here showing live. Jay joins. I'm getting a few more hashtag slow markets. Once again, if you're new here, go ahead and tag me hashtag slow markets. If I like it, I'll show it here live. I have a cutoff. I have a deadline. obviously we got a lot of submissions, and I don't have the time to go through all of them. Someone's trading silver, 76.75. I've stayed away from silver. I might switch back over to it because I need to see it settle down a little bit more. It's been absolutely insane. So maybe this week we start to take a look at silver a little bit more.
Dolby Time says you uninvited him this week, Dakota, but the link's always the same, Dolby.
No. I've never invited him in the first place. Let's make sure that was clear.
I'm not co-signing this.
Okay. No, it's not. I would like to invite you, Dobie, to slow markets again. That's all I'm saying. It's like, let me at least invite you first. It's like, thanks for the invite, but I'm busy. I didn't invite you first. So let me have the honor of inviting you first, Dobie, before you turn me down. Nah, Dobie's great. I had a blast at the trader meetup when he was in Chicago. He made sure I got back to the place we were staying safe. Let's just say that. We had a good time, right? Dobie was my wingman. Dobie was my wingman when we were partying up in Chicago. Oh, that was great memories. Yeah, I know you remember that, Dobie.
I was in the zone.
Dobie was in the zone, man. If
we need to make that happen again.
Yeah, we do.
Summertime shy again this year. We gotta make it happen.
Yeah, Shy City. I heard there's a studio coming out. I mean, maybe will that be on time? Look at these markets. We're getting distracted. What's going on in these markets? These are your kind of markets, though.
Markets.
Come to Canada sometime? Maybe. I'd love to watch a hockey game. I went to my very first hockey game the other day, and I really enjoyed it. And they fight. I'm like, let's do it. Let's get it. And yeah, I like hockey games. I'm now a hockey fan.
Dakota, you want to switch over to my screen real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I can answer a question for our friend TB173 in the chat. Jay, why are you always on a combine? Because I'm waiting for this account to get moved over to a live account. So for now, we just trade the combine. You can switch back over to yours, Dakota. Thanks, man.
No, let's admire that. Look at that.
Just move it back over, man.
Get moved to live.
It's not why we're here.
Gold is taking its time. Get wrecked. Hey, it's hard work. Hard work, dedication. You earned it. Well deserved. Well deserved. 100%. Called you poor in 50 different times. Yeah. No. And here's the thing. It's realistic for everybody here. I get a lot of heat because, what was it, 2 years ago, last year, they're like, oh, you made so much money in your XFAs, and then you got the transfer to live. I'm like, damn right I did. Yep. It was equal playing grounds for absolutely everybody, and it's the same here, right? Coach Jay, you've traded absolutely amazing. You grew that XFA, you're transferring it to live, and everyone could do the exact same thing. And
absolutely.
I seen what MP posted today. If you're following his Twitter, Topstep still has the biggest live accounts, and I don't think that was ever in question, right? The live account program here at Topstep is just absolutely amazing. Of course,
I asked ChatGPT.
You asked ChatGPT? Okay.
I did.
What did ChatGPT say?
It says, you're in the right spot.
Hey.
You're in the right place.
There you go.
I got my stop moved to break even on this trade. I don't love the hesitation up here. Took one off if we get back down to my entry, that'll be right near VWAP. So I'll get out and then reassess.
There we go. ChatGPT always agrees with you. I told Coach Shay and I had a conversation. Big things are happening. Big things are happening. Big things are going to happen. I think. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Futures trader Chris, what markets are my favorites? Metals and equities. I will trade all of the equity markets, right? Not just the NASDAQ. I probably default to the NASDAQ over everything, but I'll trade the Russell, the Dow, the S&P, whatever's moving that day. Honestly, I will trade anything. If it moves, I'll trade it.
If it moves, you'll trade it. Fair enough. Markets are quiet. We have jobs in the morning. Jobs data in the morning. And tariff decision Friday, maybe. Right? I was talking about the inflation data coming out Friday, but then tariff decision. I'm not going to hold my breath because we've seen them move that. And is it going to be really the information we need? I think for me as a trader and also as an investor with some long-term stuff, the key data for me is going to be the jobs number tomorrow, inflation data Friday, and some of the tension that's going on geopolitically over the weekend. And so Monday, I'm probably gonna have some decisions to make. Actually, Friday I'm gonna have some decisions to make, and then see how it plays out Monday. Just managing risk.
Sean Boy Finance, what am I going to have in my ears during the flight? TopstepTV, of course.
Boom.
TopstepTV.
Never a doubt. No hesitation.
Got to pay for that in-flight Wi-Fi. Tune into the show. I'll be in the chat.
I'm going to get out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going.
Yeah, it's taking too long. All right. There we go. There we go. Let's see what else. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm probably going to get out. And it's going to bounce to 5,000. I'm pretty good at
that. Not before it stops me out, too. I got a couple more ticks here before I'm out.
All right.
Richard Harris says TopstepTV is awesome. Richard Harris, we couldn't be as awesome as we are without you being here in the chat. So we appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah. Richard Harris is part of it. It's part of the community. NASDAQ chopping back and forth.
There you go. I'm flat.
Okay, so I made the right decision there on the gold.
Yeah, good choice.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that.
Just wasn't going.
Yeah, it just wasn't going. Obviously, it's actually going the opposite way now. We're getting some momentum to the downside here on the gold. So lower high confirmed. We didn't even get to that 5,000 level. And it's continuing to make those lower highs. So let's see if we're going to come back down, test these lows at 49.80s. And yeah, we know when these metals rock, they rock, and they can definitely move. Let's take a look. We're just talking about silver. See how silver's looking. Obviously, it's been very, very volatile. It's settled down. It has settled down. I will say that. Just visually looking at this, it's settled down. We were moving like $1 a minute at one point. So you can imagine moving this every minute. It was just insanity. 1% at sometimes. And so let's put a little perspective, right? As traders, we need to sprinkle in a little bit of perspective at times. Look how volatile it was. Right? Look at that volatility. And then one do that. A little perspective goes a long way. We'll put something called a ATR, average true range. Right? This is one thing I like to do on my own. Make it look pretty nice. So talking about volatility, this is an hourly chart. This is how many or how much it moves per hour. Okay, so this is over the past month. At one point in time, we were moving $5.50 an hour here in silver. absolutely insane. Because if you want to do the math, okay, just because it moves in half pennies, right? 1/2 penny. It's not like regular. So a tick value, and just I'm doing this because I think traders new and traders who've been here a while that maybe don't understand it completely. Sometimes it's just mind blowing. So let's just do what's $1, right? $1. Let me make sure I'm doing the math correct. You divide that by. All right, it's 1/2 penny, right? How many ticks are in $1 here in silver, chat? I don't want to do on-air math, and my brain's not.
How many ticks are in $1 in silver? Is that the question?
Correct. Yeah, it's 60 cents. 60 cents $1. So it's 30. No.
How many ticks? No. There's 200 ticks. 200 ticks in $1 move.
200, yeah.
In silver.
Okay, that's why. Okay, yeah, 200. 200 makes sense. Get it. So for every $1 move in silver, that is $1,000, right? Yeah, there you go. Red day. There's the math. 1 times 0.05. It would be 0.005 actually, because it's 1/2 penny. Yeah, just don't. Just forget what I'm saying. All right. $1,000. So trading 1 micro, an average move here in silver, $5,500. 1 micro.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. That's absolutely mind blowing. 1 micro, you can make $5,500 on average in an hour, just based off this average to range. And it's still volatile right now, right? So that is just bonkers. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like this in silver.
It's insane.
So now we zoom out and we see what it normally is, right? Here we go. 20 cents. 20 cents an hour. This is a normal market in silver. 20 cents an hour. And
yeah.
We jumped up to $5.50 an hour. So
insane.
The volatility is still insane. Right now, we're at about 87 cents an hour. And that's still, what, 4 times the ATR. So
yeah, still 87, still $800 an hour. About.
Yeah, which is still big for 1 micro. So
1 micro.
Just a little bit, what do you call it? Comparison. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This is just this year, right? Or this was 2025. 2025, 30 cents, 20 cents, and then this started in December. Really, that big. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe we witnessed this.
In real time. We saw the rally too, right? We saw the climb and everyone, we saw the euphoria. What I will say, whether you traded it or not, there's a lesson to take from that. And just what happens in euphoric. I'm not saying that the silver move is over, but there were people who were now silver experts calling for $500 in silver.
Dude, it was insane.
When you notice those signs, and again, it could come from, and I'm saying this as somebody who never really traded silver before this rally, but I'm a momentum trader. So whatever it is, I wish we had cocoa futures to trade at Topstep 2 years ago, because cocoa went on this insane run for 9 months, right? So for me, whatever it is, if there's euphoria, there's opportunity, but just understand when people start becoming experts after they've never traded a product, the ride might be coming to an end.
Dude, every single morning and night, I would just pull up anything, right? Instagram, Twitter, heck, just CNB, any news. All they would talk about was silver.
Yep.
Infomercials about it's just everywhere, right? And it's just like insane. And then the next thing we had was just margins just increasing, and it just kept. Yeah, it was just. It still is. It's still pretty volatile. Like I said, it's still if the average was 20 cents, and we're about 4 times that. So we're 4x the ATR now. And then we compare that to let's take a look at gold. let's do that same comparison on gold. Gold's, it wasn't as insane, but we still seen something similar.
Dania says, even my mother started to ask me about metals. That's when I knew things were getting out of hand. I mean,
Yeah. I'm sure.
those
Yeah,
are real. Those are real. So who was it? There's a trader in the anytime I quote this and talk about this, the Market Wizards book, Unknown Market Wizards. There's a trader who says he doesn't look at any fundamentals, any technicals. He does all of his trading from shopping. Right? He goes to the malls, the grocery store, and he sees what people are buying, and that's how he trades.
Hey.
It sounds crazy until it works, right? But when's the last time your parents talked to you about trading metals, and all of a sudden they do? It's like, okay,
Yeah, that's
sorry, mom, sorry, dad, but it's time to short.
Yeah. So now here's gold.
Take you out to dinner with the profits.
Yeah. So here's gold in that same period, right? Here's the beginning of 2025. Gold has had multiple spikes this 2025. And so it wasn't as crazy, but during that peak at the beginning of the year, yeah, look at this. $180 every 4 hours. It's still crazy. We're at 52. The peak back in April was where we're at right now. The peak back in October. So we're still, see how volatile it is compared on average, right? Normal seems like it's around 20. We're at 50. So it's still volatile, not as insane as silver. So everything's relative, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. And we got that email from Topstep, right, where opening up the restrictions, increasing position size as things start to settle down as it should, and as things start to normalize, that we're starting to see, it's getting a lot better.
When you get a chance, Dakota, I want to break down the ES for one of our traders in the chat asking about an ES breakdown. Gonna be honest, not seeing a whole lot here. Very similar to the S&P, but why not? Let's take a look at the chart.
Oh, there you go.
So the ES, very similar to the NASDAQ. We'll go to a higher time frame to start. October 10th candle is where I'm going to start the daily. We keep finding support, demand, whatever you want to call it, around this area. 68, 63, 75 is the high of that candle. Right now we're trading above it. We do have, what's interesting to me on the higher time frame in the S&P is here it is, 20 and the 50 moving average. The 20 just crossed below the 50 for the first time in a long time. So just kind of watching up here, the 69.30s as a potential resistance. And then if we go down to a shorter time frame, very similar to what we saw in the NASDAQ this morning, back above that 200 moving average on the 30-minute, which is right at the high of that October 10th candle, 68.64. So I'd be leaning slightly to the long side up to 69.30s in the S&P here. Again, anything we say here is for educational purposes only, not any trading or investment advice. But for tonight, I'm seeing a very range-bound market. Here's the first half an hour's range, and we are right in the middle of it. So I don't see a trade here personally, but if you do have one, trade well, manage your risk. If anything, I see a range-bound market where I'm buying at 68.90s, selling at 6900s. To me, that's just too tight of a range to trade.
There you go. Index Brian says increased volatility got Topstep limiting exposure. Yeah, everybody, right? Everybody that is in this financial market that has any exposure to silver, personal or elsewhere, that's number one. You hear all the craziness about banks, right? How much exposure some of the banks had. It gets scary, and it's on both ends, right? Prop firms, it's simulated accounts, right? So there's a difference between simulated versus real live, and MP addressed that. Is this the first time it's ever happened? Of course, in silver, not in other markets. Will it happen again? Probably. The question's when and what market, right?
It'll happen somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to happen somewhere.
Hopefully not in cocoa again.
Hopefully not in cocoa. Hopefully not in silver. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind it happening in silver again. I'm ready for it. BTFD.
I mean, that's what we want as traders, right? We welcome the volatility. Sometimes it is too much. Again, that the metals markets, my run in January was definitely aided by the metal markets, but at some point it's like, okay, I can't touch that.
Yeah,
so it's crazy.
I had a great January as well.
Right.
It's a double-edged sword, though. It's absolutely a double-edged sword.
100%. Bottom of the hour coming up here in a minute and 40 seconds. We'll see if that brings us any volatility.
NASDAQ pushing up
down here.
Yep, NASDAQ's pushing back up to these session highs. We had that big sell-off to start slow markets from 24,990s down to 24,930s, and we're starting to catch a bid here. So we should see. Yeah, green on the screen, man. That's all that matters right now. I mean, gold didn't even hit 5,000. We're still at these 49.92 in gold. These other markets still not moving. It's just quiet night. Bitcoin, we're up 1%, so we're at 66,920 spot. I believe the futures are probably closer. It's probably at 70,000 even.
67.30 in the futures.
Okay.
Nice little bid here in Bitcoin tonight.
Yeah, there we go. Finally, Bitcoin's finding some buyers by just a little bit.
I think they're covering shorts.
They're some profit taking. Yeah. Gold starting to push too. All right, let's just take a look at gold, and we'll do the hashtag slow markets. If you haven't got your submissions in, submit them in now. The real newspaper. How do we only have 7 likes? We have 330 likes, so we're still 400 likes shy of the like goal. Bottom of the hour coming in just 10 seconds. See what happens at the bottom. Like I said, a lot less volatility, slow markets, while Chinese New Year. Luna, it's coming back on the 23rd. Back to normal. Is the NQ going to the 25K during the night? We don't know for sure, but it's a big round number. Possibly. Okay, here it is. Bottom of the hour. Nothing. I'm expecting nothing. Might see a small spike in volatility. Uzap says, you said he was going to shadow box if we get to 600. I did not say 600.
Was it 700?
I don't know what I. Okay, that's if you have. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I didn't say 600. Okay, if I did, clip it and send it to me on Twitter, and I would honor it. But I'm pretty sure I would have set the bar a lot higher. Pull the tapes. It's all on YouTube. It's all recorded. The internet's forever, right, Dobie? Bruno said 7. No, I said 700 tonight for the goal, but I didn't say I would shadow box for 700 tonight. I didn't even talk about shadow boxing though. Last time I shadow boxed, I lost.
Shadows hit hard, man.
Shadow got hands.
Okay, 6,900 there in the S&P. Quick little rejection. Don't really see much to trade here, but when's the last time, Dakota, you put on one of those OG slow markets trades? Here's a level.
I actually we're getting OG slow market price action.
Yeah.
And I talked about it last night in gold for a target of 5,000, and it worked out really well.
Nice.
I didn't put it on myself. I want to see more than just a few days worth of original slow markets price action, and then I'll feel comfortable.
There you go. Chat was paying attention. Gold the other night.
Yeah. If you guys were paying attention, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Last night I was talking about gold 5,000 for a nice breakout, zooming out on that higher time frame. And once these markets start, if these markets start to settle down, we'll get more of those going. Well, don't worry. That's what I said. We're having lots of volatility during slow markets, so we're scalping it up. Once the volatility starts to die down, then we'll get some OG slow markets trades, which is, zooming out on a higher time frame like an hourly chart, putting trades on, letting them run overnight throughout the London session, waking up in the morning, making those adjustments if needed. Like, just because the markets change doesn't mean we have to. We can adapt as well. Markets can change, so can we.
It's the tip of the week. That is the tip of the week. Yes. Cryptic fiery trading. Are you trading full time now? What does that mean? What does trading full time look like? Do I trade every day? Yes. Is trading my sole source of income? It will never be. So
Fair enough.
yeah, I would say yes.
What do you qualify as full time?
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. For a period of time, my definition of a full time trader was that they paid the bills with their trading.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, I could technically pay. I've been paying my bills with my trading, but then building those other sources of income and also having another source of income to make sure my bills were paid helped with my mental side, like the mental side, the psychological side of trading, to where it's a lot easier, right? And then I'm still only trading like 2-3 hours a day, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it depends on what your definition of full time is. It depends on what your goals are. If you could trade for a living and not rely upon any other source of income, is what some people look at it for. Like a full-time job. I don't think it'd ever be like a full-time job for me, because I'll never sit here for 8 hours and like punching in a clock day after day. We trade for freedom, right? Like today, I got off fast markets this morning. I hit the gym. First thing I did.
How do you use fair value gaps? Will it? I don't. I know that's a strategy traders look at. It's not something I look at. I think a lot of times we see a lot of overlap in concepts. Sometimes I'll frame out a high volume candle that somebody else will call a fair value gap. I think I'd see one right here potentially in gold on this 3-minute chart. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be considered a fair value gap. For me, I would frame out this high volume candle right here. So I don't personally use them, but if you do and it works, keep doing it.
Okay.
Blasphemy.
This is I've still never done enough research to understand fair value gap, inverted fair value gap, ICP, ICT.
Did you say ICP?
Not insane clown posse.
Oh, that's what I heard. That's what I heard, right, chat? I didn't just hear that.
No, ICP, ICT, ABC, 1, 2, 3, Lakers in 5. Iced tea. This is the iced tea. The iced tea concepts. We know the only concepts I care about are those DBA concepts. Yep, DBA concepts include slapping the ass.
Not financial advice, but any advice for people considered quote unquote new money. Pay your taxes, put some of it away. That's not financial advice.
I love that, Jay. Pay your taxes, put some of it away.
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. Yeah, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't lose money. Risk what you could afford to lose. That's usually my go-to saying. I do AARP concepts. Solid. Hey, I have no opinion on any other concepts. If it works for you, you develop your own process. That's all that matters. It's so true. All right, let's get to my chart. I gave everybody enough time. I got 3 good ones here for us tonight. Number 1, Bruno, my man. Long gold, 3 micros. No, that I believe that take profit hit, right? Bruno, that take 49.99.6, and we got the 49.99.6. Oh, you had 49.99.68. The high of that was 6.7. Oh, please tell me you 10% rolled that, Bruno. Bruno, please tell me.
Oh, Bruno got out. Plus 153. There we go.
Okay, good. I'm like looking at this and saying, yeah, that take profit 6.8, and the high of that move was, yes. Oh man, 6.7 was the high. Oof. Good. Well, glad you got out. Nice. It one ticked you, but you got out. Good decision on that one. Let's get to these others. Oh, been there. Oof. Trust me. We've all been there. Jeffrey, rate my trade. All right, Coach Jay, let's rate this trade. 1 micro gold. Entry was 49.83 and a half. Okay. All right, let's put this on here. 49.83 half. So I'm gonna set this up. Oh damn. Whoa. Okay, that's from way down there. 49.83 half. Stop loss 79. Okay. Take profit 50.32.2. So I'm assuming you're still in this. So let's just put it on the board. Let's put it on the board. Entry 83 half. Remember, this is not financial advice, but we'll give you my best opinion on it. Follow your process is the best. So that's the entry. 79.2 is the stop loss. And 32.2 is the hold. Okay. Oh, damn. That's going for the moon right there. So somewhere up there. How would you rank this trade, Coach Jay? I'm going to go ahead and put this on a long position. I'm not sure when you got in, but it's going to look something like that.
Yeah.
How would you rank this one? It's like a...
So I'm curious
9.
when the trade was taken. How many micros was it?
Almost 10 to 1. Just 1 micro.
1
I
micro.
don't see when the trade was taken. No details on the trade was taken. It was taken tonight, obviously, but yeah, rank it. It's basically almost a 10 to 1 trade. It's 9.5 to 1 trade. My first thought on this was, why is your stop loss where it is? Why is your take profit where it is? Are you following your process? I personally would like a little bit wider of a stop. Give yourself a little bit more room. And it's 1 contract, so you're all in, all out. It's not too bad, honestly. Not too bad. It's realistic. It's realistic. Like if I had this trade going, and I'm like, can we tag 50.32? Yeah, we could tag that overnight, right? This is the OG slow markets trade type fillings here. If you're holding this overnight, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. My only concern though would be, like I said, the stop loss is.
Agreed.
It's just like, if
tight.
you had your stop loss down here and just say, okay, this is my trade setup, give yourself a little bit of room because market volatility, if gold, last thing you want as a trader is to wake up in the morning and see gold do something like this. Damn it. Because right now your stop loss is at, and I don't know if you moved it either because you're in profit and maybe you moved your stop loss then. 79.2. So 79.2. Your stop loss is almost a break even. I mean, it's pretty tight. I like it.
I like the trade too. That's my one. Dakota, you were just talking about, you were talking earlier about, what were you talking about? ATRs and stops ATRs. in gold. And this is clearly a higher time frame trade. Where was that entry one more time?
Entry is 83 half. Let me look at it on an hourly chart.
Yeah, I was just looking at a half an hour. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the hourly chart looks good. Yeah, I just, every time small size, it's risk management. It's a 10 to 1, which is great. It just, I love to give the market room to move because you don't want this type of a candle, right? This candle at the open, we came down to like 70 and right back up.
Looking at a 30-minute chart from your entry, around the time you would have taken it, the 30-minute ATR was $15, which would be $150 worth of risk in gold.
Okay.
Which, maybe you're not comfortable taking that amount of dollar-wise risk, and then it makes sense to keep it a little bit tighter. But yeah, hey, it's a hell of an entry. You're up 8 points right now in that trade.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, this is definitely an OG slow markets trade setup I would like. It is just you place a small size, you let it run overnight, and you could get some really good risk rewards like this. It's just that I typically have a wider stop when I go to bed to allow it to just have wiggle room, right? But 10 out of 10 if this is following your process. There's nothing wrong with it. The question is, are you going to go to sleep with this on? Do you feel comfortable with the trade on? It's only 1 micro, and you don't have that much risk. So this is something where I would sleep, and you can just get away from your desk. You don't have to be sitting here staring at your charts and just letting it play out. This is a beautiful example, everyone, of the OG slow market type trading that we're talking about. It allows you to get into trades like this. No, that's about it. I like it. Not much to it.
Nice setup.
Yeah, nice setup. Okay, Grip South Florida, my man. Slow markets back in the office. You've been on the boat. You're now back in the office to finish watching. $48 in gold, man cave trade. Nice. Still one of the better, dare I say, man caves that have been submitted. So
it's a sick setup.
Loving it.
On a boat.
On a boat. Got that. What is it? Starlink. Nice setup. See, this is the type of hashtag slow markets I like. Yeah, submit your trade. Hey, rate my trade. What do you think about this trade? And Coach Jay and I don't mind, if markets aren't doing anything too crazy, we can sit here, talk it out, go through the trade. If there's something that I might be able to suggest, take it with a grain of salt. Do it. Don't do it. Talk about those OG setups. That's one of my favorite things about slow markets. I actually, low-key, kind of want to do more of that. Just like submit a trade. We'll set it up on here, and we could break it down and talk through it.
I like that idea. I like that. Roast your trade segment.
Yeah.
Maybe not a roast, but yeah. MNQ. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I am not seeing a ton of movement. Anything that's jumping out and say, hey, trade it.
Trade it.
Not seeing it yet. But bottom of the hour coming up, we'll end the show around there. We tend to see some volume. It is still the Lunar New Year, so maybe we don't get that volatility tonight, but
yeah,
ACH.
I don't even have to do shadow boxing and sitting down. Take that. I'm not even saying anything. Just, nope. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Michelle, why did I wait so late to pack for a trip? So I was actually just talking to some friends. So I'm going to Mexico with a couple of friends that I've known for a while. 30 minutes ago, one of my friends says, I'm just leaving the office. I still have a few more hours of work and I haven't packed a damn thing. My other friend who's a doctor says, same, bro, just got back at 7 o'clock, still have some work to do. Just finished my first meal and going to finally pack. It's just, I don't know. It's just the way we do it.
It's a guy
Dakota,
thing.
It's a guy thing, man.
I was probably a message away from joining you. I was so close to joining it. When I was over there in New Jersey, I was like, let's do it. I had plans to join you and your two friends.
Yep.
And just, man, things get out of hand when it comes to lots of one thing after another. Yep. Gotta make time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll figure something out soon. But I mean, I don't think about the trip until I'm at the airport. Until then,
For real.
There's so much other stuff going on, right? When we went to Chicago this year or last year, it was the same thing. It was like, I'm excited when I'm at the airport, sitting down on the flight, ready to go. Until then,
it's like it's just, are you excited? Yeah, I really am. Right. It doesn't hit you until you're like on the plane or you're on the way to the airport, or sometimes even after you land, you're like, oh, dang. Here we are. We're in Mexico. We're in This is just like, okay, this is getting exciting. Yeah. Will you trade while in Mexico, Coach J?
I might trade a little bit. Might look at the markets. We'll see. We'll see what schedule looks like for the day. Of course, want to take some time away from the charts. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
Get away from it. But it's also we see Aaron do it all the time, right? You can travel and trade. So we'll see. If there's a clean trade setup and I'm not busy, maybe. But I'm not looking. I'm not bringing a laptop with me, so I'd have to trade off my phone, which I don't love doing.
Yeah, you're flying back Sunday?
Sunday night, yeah. Sunday night.
There you go. Yeah, no need to look at the markets.
Yeah.
Go enjoy it. Go enjoy it.
Am I gonna miss the markets? Probably not. Probably not. I'm excited to get back next week though. Gonna be a good week at TopstepTV, and make sure you're joining us.
There you go.
Got an NVIDIA watch party.
Yeah. There we go. Look at gold just going sideways. Going sideways here.
Flatline.
Flatlining. NASDAQ. I like longs. I like longs in the NASDAQ. It's just looking very, very right for a breakout through these 5,000 level. Okay, you know what? I'm going to set up a slow markets trade so I can just show traders how I do it. It's almost identical to the one you've seen. Is if I was to get into a trade, or I would set up a trade, right? I'm not getting triggered in. It would be using a buy stop. So this is a nice level of resistance. If, right, if then statement, if we break out of 5,000, I would be triggered into a long. So I would use a buy stop. Remember, this isn't financial advice. There's the risk disclosure, but this is just an example. A buy stop breakout long. So it only gets triggered in if the price touches 25,000, say 50. My stop loss would probably be below the previous pivot. So like 24,930. And my take profit would probably be up here towards these highs. So that would be an example of a slow markets trade. I would put it on tonight. I'd go to sleep. I'll wake up, and then maybe it just sells off and I don't get triggered. If it does, then one of three things are going to happen. It's going to come up, hit my take profit, go down, hit the stop loss, or it's going to be somewhere in between, and I'll make a decision to manage it. So that's exactly what it would look like. Obviously, it's not going to be. I don't say exact, but about that, a buy stop breakout above 25,000. That's a little bit better than a 1-to-1. It's a 1.3 to 1. And sometimes I'll put two contracts, right? So say 2 micros, risk, down here, and then I can have one take profit, and then I leave one on as a runner. So if I'm getting in 2 contracts, I have one take profit at say 25,095, and then I just leave one on for a runner, because sometimes I wake up in the morning and the market's up 200 points and I took profit on this. I'm up another 200 points on the other contract that I let run, and my stop loss is still there, right? So it's just an example, right? This is a true slow markets trade. A lot of times I'll set this up on an hourly chart, right? Set the trade up on the hourly chart. It looks pretty good on the hourly chart and the higher time frame analysis, and then I would zoom into a 5-minute chart, and then I'll start to adjust, where exactly do I want my stop loss? It doesn't make sense to have my stop loss a little bit wider, right? Could I have my stop loss wider? Sure. That's an exact 1-to-1 trade. Is the probabilities worth the risk, right? Pop versus rock, probability of profit versus return on capital. That's an old school. Man, that's a throwback. Shout out Tom Sajnoff on that one. So yeah, this is the type of, dare I say, DBA concepts, the original slow markets, when the markets were actually slow like this. And when the markets are volatile and moving, it's harder to do this because it's too volatile for the way that I view it. And it's a lot better just to scalp it out like we've been doing for the past couple months. So thoughts on that, chat? Thoughts on that?
Great analysis, great setup.
And Jonathan Stonks out there spitting facts.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah, I am not going to disagree with
I'm
that
not
either.
going to disagree with that. Dakota, if you could switch it over to my screen real quick. There was a question about how I'm going to manage the DLL in this live account when we finally get it. So it's a 100K account. The standard DLL from Topstep is, 3K. Let's say they move me over with 20% of the balance, which would be 20K.
Okay.
We are going to start with 20K. I'm going to go with my guy, Coach Paul's suggestion, never losing more than 12% of your balance in a day. So 88 minus 88% would be 2,400 would be the starting daily loss limit for that account. That's not to say, hey, I'm just going to trade until I hit the loss limit, right? Obviously, we want to keep losses small, but that'll be what it is. So $600 less than whatever the Topstep allotted amount is. And then as the account balance grows, I'm going to try to scale that back the other way. So instead of, like, let's say we get to $40,000 that is available, I want to try to take that 12% and make it 10%, right? So as the account grows bigger, that percentage scales the opposite way, right? So dollar-wise, we're not risking more. We're not risking that much more as the account grows, right? 12% of 100,000 is a lot more than 12% of 20,000. So yeah, that's the plan there.
I like that. I like it. Perfect. And yeah, access to that live capital. It's crazy to think. You excited? You excited? What's your psychology like going into this?
Same as always, right? Taking it slow, honestly, to start. The goal, obviously, I don't know what the live funded team and the risk team is doing as far as balance goes, right? I'm not asking them to say, I'm not saying, hey, I'm a coach, give me access to the full balance. They're going to do whatever they do. My mindset is to just trade the account with the goal of, taking good trade setups. Obviously, we want to try to unlock the entire balance. There are incentives to trading well in a live account. So we want to look at those incentives and say, hey, how can we reach those goals also? Okay. And take it day by day, right? That's really the mindset. Yeah, I think that's really it. Don't want to try to overthink it. Trade it patiently. Very similar to how I trade a personal account. There are sometimes weeks, or maybe not weeks, but I'll go a week without taking a trade in a personal account. So gonna treat this one like that.
Good. A lot of traders don't realize that is having no trades in a single week. It's very rare, right? When it comes to this prop firm world, I have yet to see. I could probably count less than 10 traders that's just watched the markets all week and didn't take a trade. Because usually if you're watching the markets, you're going to take a trade. That's just a trader. But in reality, if you're trading it as a professional, say just like your personal, it makes sense. There's sometimes in my personal account where I won't go a week taking a trade, either because I'm busy doing something else, I'm working on something else, it's a short week, maybe there's a holiday, and I just don't see the setup and I'm not willing to take the risk. Versus a prop firm account, right? Where it's like, okay, most I have at risk is if I struggle, I have $150 into this account, right? And it's a different mindset. So seeing yourself and trying to transition to that type of a mindset and demonstrate it for newer traders, I think is very important. That would be interesting to see how the community is when it comes to like, hey, Coach Jay, you got your new live account. How was your first week? I've been watching the markets and I haven't seen anything set up. They're like, what? Are you too scared? It's like, there's just volatile. It's like we had FOMC, we had this, we had that, and there's just no good setups. And I think that needs to be more common, more talked about than it has been in this industry. For sure. Yeah, it's almost impossible to get a great trading setup every single day. Especially if you're defaulting to one market. If you're scanning markets, we got 36 you can trade at Topstep. Yeah, you might be able to find your trade setup, but then that means scanning 36 markets to try to find it, right? We could all benefit from being a little bit more patient. Also, I just want to clarify something. Joey says, so when you move to live, if you lose 12%, it's gone. No, that 12% is gone. But again, if I start with a $20,000 balance, I'm going to risk no more than 12% in a day.
which means that's my daily loss limit. The max loss limit would be that 20,000, right? So you don't want to lose 20. Going with this 12% allows me more than, you got to do the math. But if I'm losing 3,000 a day, as opposed to 12% of whatever the balance is, I'm giving myself more opportunity doing it this way.
There you go. There you go. I like it. Yeah, less is more. More than one trade per day, too much? No, depends on you. You have someone where, like Mandy, she's a scalper on a smaller time frame, and one trade might be on the low end, and then maybe someone who's using higher time frames, slow markets, OG slow markets trade where, hey, there's no trade set for me tonight. I'll wait till tomorrow night. Hey, no trade set up for me tonight. Wait till tomorrow night, and then the week's over. And yeah, it depends so much on you as an individual. Full contract size. Yeah, I'm excited. So, any last thing you want to end this, Coach Jay, before you head out to Mexico?
Yeah, I'm short gold, but that's it. Trade well, everybody. Trade well. Enjoy your time on the charts. I'll be in the chat when I can be, and I'll see you all next week.
There you go. You guys don't get to see me shadow box because you didn't hit the like. You didn't even get to the 700 like goal. So take care, everybody. You get to see the new outro. See ya.